From the very first moment you see Leonardo DiCaprio on screen, there's a sneaky little vibe that whispers, "Bro, romance is going to betray you." And honestly, it's almost impressive how consistent this pattern is across his career. Like some cosmic cruel joke where the universe decided Leo is the one guy who can act his heart out, charm millions, and still end up single because women in his movies either die, leave, or drive him into emotional ruin. Take Romeo and Juliet, for example. We start with young, dreamy Leo as Romeo, the ultimate teen heartthrob, and the movie wastes no time showing that love in his life equals catastrophe. And we all know how that ends: Juliet dead, Romeo following shortly after. Basically the OG relationship goals, turned upside down, and even when he's on a beautiful, modernized Shakespearean set, you can't help but feel for the guy. Then there's Titanic, arguably the pinnacle of Leo's romantic misfortune. Jack Dawson is a charming, talented, and slightly ridiculous guy, seriously, who spends hours sketching naked portraits on a sinking ship. And yet, despite being perfect in every way, love hits an iceberg of tragedy. Rose survives, Jack doesn't, and the audience is left crying while Leo's face freezes into cinematic legend status. The pattern continues in The Basketball Diaries, where before he even hits Hollywood stardom, the twins introduce him to drugs in a way that makes you go, yep, his love life is basically collateral damage of addiction. And suddenly his on-screen relationships feel doomed even before they begin. Jump to The Aviator, and now we have Leonardo as Howard Hughes, whose obsession and spiraling mental health literally chase women away. Katharine Hepburn, played magnificently, seems to endure this train wreck with a mix of awe and pure frustration. And by the end, the genius and women's hearts alike are battered, leaving Leo with nothing but planes and compulsive hygiene rituals. Revolutionary Road cranks up the tragic stakes even further, with Leo as Frank Wheeler, trying to navigate suburban life and a marriage that feels like it's written in the stars for a disaster. April's desires, dreams, and ultimately her life end in heartbreak, leaving Frank, and by extension Leo, drowning in guilt and the messy wreckage of adult relationships. A scene that makes you laugh nervously at how badly he handles human connection. Then there's Shutter Island, where his love isn't just doomed, it's almost entirely in his head, a hallucination layered with grief and regret. By the end, the mind games leave you questioning what's real, but one thing's clear. The women in his life, fictional or not, never get a happy ending, and neither does he. In Inception, the pain is literal. Cobb is haunted by Mal's memory, trying to build a life with her in dreams while her death in reality prevents any actual closure, leaving Leo to wrestle with guilt and layers of dream-induced tragedy while we sit there thinking, dude, just take a nap, maybe it'll help. The Great Gatsby shows us yet another iteration of this curse, with Jay Gatsby, Leo of course, pining over Daisy, whose love is beautiful but ultimately unobtainable. He throws lavish parties, chases her across decades of longing, and still ends up alone, a cinematic embodiment of "you can't win them all, buddy." The Wolf of Wall Street flips the script with excess, money, and debauchery, but it doesn't save him from relational ruin. Naomi Margot Robbie leaves him, careers are ruined, and all his charming antics are ultimately meaningless in love's ledger, reinforcing the ongoing saga of Leo's on-screen women ending up casualties of his life choices. The Revenant takes it to almost mythic levels. Hugh Glass survives unimaginable physical trauma, but when it comes to love, the woman who gives his character motivation and emotional anchor is brutally murdered, fueling his revenge quest, leaving him alone in the snow with a heart heavier than the bear he wrestled. It's almost as if the universe gave him a trophy for surviving everything but happiness. To round it out, let's not forget Romeo plus Juliet's modern cousin, Catch Me If You Can's romantic misadventures. Okay, technically he doesn't die, but the casual heartbreaks, near misses, and constant running from emotional attachment make you realize a pattern. Leo's movies are like a masterclass in how to be incredibly talented and still emotionally cursed. Across all these films, you start noticing the recurring themes. Love motivates him, tragedy punishes him, and the women, whether they die, leave, or just emotionally wreck him, create a cycle of romantic misfortune that is as hilarious as it is heartbreaking when you step back and think about it. And while some actors might have hit-and-miss relationships on screen, Leo's consistency is uncanny, a cosmic comedy of errors. You can almost picture the casting directors whispering, "Don't worry, he'll be heartbroken again," as they hand him the scripts. By the time you watch all 10 of these movies back to back, it becomes a running gag in your head. Leonardo DiCaprio, the man who can survive bear attacks, plane crashes, sinking ships, and mind-bending dreams, Yet somehow the simple act of maintaining a healthy romantic relationship in his films is apparently the true survival challenge, a task so monumental that it could be its own cinematic universe. And the best part, the humor sneaks in naturally because even when everything is tragic, his charm makes you root for him, laugh at the absurdity, and cry a little at the same time, because who else could get away with having such a dramatic curse with love, surviving it in style, and making us all feel entertained while simultaneously questioning if dating Leo in real life would come with a disclaimer. Warning, heartbreak guaranteed. By the end, you realize that this is more than just a pattern. It's a full-blown cinematic saga, a tragic comedy about love, obsession, death, and chaos, and the sheer number of times women are tragically lost to his on-screen life is both staggering and strangely comforting in its predictability. You sit back, popcorn in hand, laughing, crying, and maybe a little jealous, thinking, man, Leo really is the guy who can't catch a break with women, even when he's living the dream. And that, my friends, is the unspoken charm, the golden moment, and the ultimate takeaway. Whether it's drowning in icy waters, spiraling through financial madness, or fighting bears in the wilderness, Leonardo DiCaprio's on-screen women are cursed to tragedy, leaving him perpetually heartbroken, charmingly doomed, and endlessly watchable. A masterclass in cinematic romance failure, but done with such charisma, talent, and comedic timing that you can't help but love him anyway. Like and subscribe for more videos like this.